All right. We live. We're live. Look at that. Just about on time, I think. Just about. What's going on, everybody? What's up? I think I'm on time. Where is everybody? There it is. Yo. How's it going? How's it going? Another Yammie Noob live stream. I think you guys already know what I'm going to hit you up with on the start of the stream here. I think y'all already know what I'm about to talk about, baby. Oh my god, it's the only thing to talk about, right? Got the old pre-stream live, and why don't we just do it to you dirty, do it to you fast? Hold on a second, boys. Oh my god, what is this? Go away. Oh, the R9. Oh my god. Everybody wants to do the R9. Gabe says, greetings from Pflugerville. That is close by. That's pretty cool. Jesus Christ, man. This bike, everybody's been talking about it. I think we just have to go ahead and render a verdict on it. So while we are kind of doing a little pre-stream here, you know, we usually have the good stuff for you, the rider questions, the bike roaster boost, and then, of course, the live stream trivia, and then mystery box, all that good stuff. But, good God, Riser with that crazy comment. I don't even want to... Wow, that threw me off. So, okay, let's talk about the Yamaha R9, boys, if you really want. Oh, man, this Riser guy is really throwing me off here. That is so weird. Okay, let's discuss the Yamaha R9 because everybody wants me to talk about it. If you have any comments on the R9, drop me down below in the chat box and we can discuss it a little bit. But I think the craziest part about this motorcycle was the fact that it's exactly what we all expected. And it's been like teased to us for, oh God, I don't know, like 5 years now, maybe. It's maybe been like, you know, 5 years that Yamaha's been coming out with this thing, talking about it. It actually feels very bizarre to even look at it and be like, wow, they finally did it. Because it's been this bike that has been, oh my God, talked about for forever. I'm a little upset that it is so close to an MT09. I didn't think that they would basically just take an MT09 frame, motor, and just kind of call it a day. Obviously, they put the clip-ons on there. There's a different front suspension unit, and there's Brembo stylemic calipers. Very cool, but everything else is basically the same, which makes me think that Yamaha was designing the MT09 to just become a super sport all along. I think that the bike looks proper. The winglets are a bit silly, but everybody has to do it nowadays. From the front, it actually looks pretty cool with the winglets. I just think that from the side, it kind of has like lunch tray vibes. I'm not a huge fan of the new winglet thing that everybody seems to have to do nowadays. Particularly on a bike with only 117 horsepower. It doesn't really strike me as something that's necessary. The other thing that not a lot of people talk about, I know that this hole in the frame and the engine and all here, that's exactly how it is in the MT09. Hellfire says it's a different frame. Now, I'm not sure if it is because I haven't seen confirmation on that. I have heard that people say that it's like the Delta Box aluminum Yamaha frame. To my eye, this bend here looks very similar to the MT09 SP. This looks like the MT09 frame. But without taking the fairings off, there's no way to really tell. But it would be interesting to see if it is different. But honestly, my favorite color is white. I think in the white and red, it looks really snazzy. I would personally swap out the front fender here for red. Instead of red, I would do like a black carbon fiber thing. I think that would look a little better. I think a lot of people are upset about this kind of like, you know, front headlight thing. But they only did that because they're cross-platforming it with the MT09. It's exactly like the R7. And you got to remember, Yamaha They freaking killed it with the R7. So many street squids bought R7s, loved R7s, did the whole thing. I mean, they're going to sell so many of these bikes because it's priced pretty well. 12,499. It's pretty good. Mr. Wynn says the wings look much worse from the top. I have not seen a top-down view of the bike, but yeah, from the side you get that crazy like lunch table vibe. I mean, what the hell is that? It to my eye just doesn't look like a natural angle for this motorcycle. You see this line going down here. It seems like it should just cut right there. Just be that smooth, beautiful sport bike shape. This is so like just kind of errant, the kind of line that it crosses right there. And yeah, Miguel's talking here on chat saying that it's not a replacement for the R1, and it's not, like basically the strategy now is you have R7, R9, like you have two different bikes that are both kind of super sports. I think the R9 is more sporty than the R7 from everything I've seen. It looks like Yamaha's done a little bit more to really make it a real super sport. And if you look at the ergos, it is really aggressive. I mean, you look at where the seat is and where the bar end is, it's almost flat, On the new not so super sport bikes, the handlebars are like up here, and then it goes all the way to the seat and then down to the pegs. And the pegs look pretty nice and high as well. They're adjustable, I believe, because it shares the same style of frame with the MT-09. But I think what kind of stinks about it is like you see all this hole right here. You could just, I don't know, it just looks bad to my eye that there's nothing filling this in. It looks a little unfinished, a little empty, and just kind of not really there. What did Tribudato say? Bionicle's bike. Kinda. I mean, I don't really think it's that Bionicle like. Yamaha's MT motorcycles certainly look worse or different. This actually, to my eye, looks cool. It looks like a proper real sport bike. The thing that annoys me a lot is R6 lovers on the internet saying that this bike doesn't make enough peak horsepower, which I think is just ridiculous. 117 horsepower is a lot of power, especially out of an 890cc motor, a 3-cylinder. It's going to have tons of grunt and low down torque and really usable power. Because even though I think the Tenkate team in World Supersport is going to take these and start racing them, it's not really a race bike, right? Like it's much more of a kind of road-going, fun sports bike. But I think just with the proper ergonomics package, it's almost identical to the formula they did with the R7. Almost identical. And I would really love to get proper indications on what no one's released this yet to my eye that, did they change the geometry on the front end? Did they change what is different in the frame here versus the MT-09? How is it better for this particular package? Because the exhaust, the swing arm, the frame, everything looks super similar to my eye. So I would love to kind of figure out if that's the case. I do think white and blue is the most successful combination for this bike, Something about our bikes, though, man, they really tug at the heartstrings. I don't understand why everybody gets super hopped up. All right, so check this out with the rider triangles, R7, R1, and R9. The R9 is actually, so the R7 actually sits a little further back, and that is something that I remember noticing on that motorcycle is a little longer than you anticipate from the saddle. And the R1 is this red one here. So it's way further back and way kind of further out. That's like proper superbike stuff. R9 is a little in between the two, right? Like it's a little farther up, but you're really splitting hairs between the three, kind of bar positions here. You can see also foot pegs in the R1, definitely higher. So yeah, I think it's more sporty than the, like this article saying the GSX-8R, Daytona 660s. I think it's competing in a different category. Mostly because, like, R7, 660, all those bikes, they're designed to be super comfortable, right? This bike is certainly this, like, next generation super sport. It's not quite as comfortable. Let's see what they say about the chassis. It says the frame itself might look visually similar to the MT-09, but it's formed from a gravity casting to create the lightest aluminum frame ever offered on a Yamaha Super Sport model. It's also tuned to meet different flex characteristics compared to the MT-09. It's formed from a gravity casting, so they're not doing the vacuum casting that they used to do on the MT-09. I guess that is different. But there's not much information. And this article just goes on to talk about the KYB suspension and the front end and stuff. Cool that it has cruise control though. I do like that. That's a big upgrade over the R6. And that's something that a lot of people aren't talking about, is that the R6 was very long in the tooth. It was using a 2009 R1 Dash in the final run in the 2017 Plus. So this bike has a 6-axis IMU. It has cruise control. It has way more advanced electronics, a much torqueier engine. To my understanding of what actual motorcyclists would want from a street bike, this is superior to the R6. Is it superior to the R6 on the racetrack? Only time will tell. But I think that this motorcycle actually fits the bill much better for what a street sport bike would look like now in the 2020s, right? Not in the mid-2000s, not in the 2010s. What are we looking for now in 2024? Going into 2025, we're halfway through this decade now. We've moved past the R6, right? We don't need that anymore. We now have R7, R9, different products, different lineup. And at least here in America, we're going to continue getting the R1, but, you know, now it has Temu winglets on it, which is pretty sweet. Chirag, ooh. Got a spicy comment. Yammie, quit shitting on super sports. You impact number of sales, and you preach how they don't belong on the streets. You're helping bringing death of super sports sooner. My man, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy on YouTube. I don't think that I have the ability to massively influence the market, and I'm just telling you what people tell me and what I feel about super sports. They are crap for the street, and that's just a fact. These bikes are superior. More torque, better ergonomics. It's not really an argument. I do like that they included the Brembo Stylema calipers on the R9, because basically every R bike has had weird, bad wooden brakes. R7 was like that. The R1's brakes were really not great from factory. A lot of MT products have the same thing, and I'm really happy that this one has a Brembo caliper on it. It looks really good. The new Dash looks really nice. This is borrowing from the new MT-09 Dash, so it's the bigger one. It's got the white on it. It looks pretty cool, man. I think it looks really nice. And yeah, I really think that with the, man, to be one of these guys, to be one of the first to ride it, man, whoever launches a first ride video in an R9, like whoever gets that first, guaranteed 100K views in 2 days or whatever, you know? But yeah, 12,499 is really good. I didn't realize it was undercutting the GSX-R 750, which is crazy that Suzuki's selling that for $13,149. That's actually quite a shocker to me. I didn't realize that bike. I thought that bike was like 11,000 something. So I'm gonna stop recommending it now because it's super duper long in the tooth. But it does make 150 horsepower to the inline four. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the Yamaha R9. It's cool that we get a brand new sport bike. It's cool that it exists. And I'm obviously super excited to ride it. Spoiler alert, I already put a deposit down on one. I will try to be one of the first people in Texas, if not America, to have one to make content with that is completely unbiased and not a manufacturer press launch or anything like that. I'm going to get one and completely make my own opinions and videos on it. So with all that being said, why don't we go ahead and do our old live stream here, boys? Why don't we go ahead and get started with that? Let's go ahead and get this put up here. Slideshow. There we go. My God, I don't know why it's going so slow. Just double check. All right, we're good to go. Sweet. All right, boys. Rider questions answered. Let's get started. So, if you are new here, I try to answer questions from Discord first. If I can't source any good questions, if the boys are feeling lazy for whatever reason, we go to Instagram. If you have any questions you want me to answer right now, always drop them on the chat. I try to look out for them as I go on here. Without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Okay, so Shane on Discord asked me, what advice would you give to someone wanting to build a cafe racer. What platform would you recommend? So, if I'm being totally honest, totally earnest, I would say that you shouldn't build a cafe racer. And the reason I say that is because I was just talking to producer Logan about this earlier today. He was mentioning how he knows someone who has an engineering degree and like a whole shop and stuff, and it took him 2 years to put together a cafe racer. And so if you are new to this, basically what's going to happen is you're going to buy a project and you're never going to get it running. I really hate to break it to you, but it's just, you're going to run into a lot of issues. What I really recommend that you should do, instead of building it, let's say I'm going to give you 2 options for this, okay? Let's say you just want a cool looking cafe racer bike, get a slightly used Triumph Thruxton. Your done deal, looks awesome. Customize it a little bit, put some different tires on it, some decals, some paint, whatever. Like maybe put a little grill guard on the headlight. It's going to look great. The second option I would recommend, if you really want to go through the process of building a bike and making a cafe racer, get the most simple, single cylinder, old school motorcycle that you can fit the cafe racer vibe into it. The reason I say that is because if you get an old school single cylinder, little air cooled motorcycle, you will have a way easier time getting it running and getting it all good. Get something a little bit newer as well. Don't go for something from like 1960s or 70s because they have points ignition systems and those are a nightmare to deal with. That try to find something reasonably simple. So that would be my recommendation if you really wanted to build a cafe racer. So I don't have too much knowledge of that world, but I do know many people who have tried their hand at it and really hated life. Okay. Doxa on Discord. What are your top 3 bikes from other markets that you Yanks don't get that you want to ride? This is a great question. My first one is the Yamaha Tracer 7. I think that's a phenomenal bike that would do super well here in America. I don't understand why Yamaha has not brought that motorcycle. That's the Tracer line of motorcycles, sport touring from Yamaha. They are the CP2 styled motorcycles. So it shares the MT-07, R7, Tenere 700, that whole line of bikes, but just in a sport touring flavor. I love that one. I think the ZX25 is really cool. We got the ZX4, which is very close to what we need here in America, right? But the ZX25 is still a very special, interesting little motorcycle. And my last one that I have to recommend is the RVF 400, the baby V4 from Honda from way back in the day. I rode one of those in Australia, and I thought it was super neat. And I'm going to give one more bike because there's lots that I would love to see here in the States. The Yamaha MT1, the big-ass V-twin. That was an awesome motorcycle. I wish that one came over as well. So those would be some of the bikes that I would want. Okay, Cat and Mac on Discord has a large question here. They ask, since electric mandates are creeping up slowly, suppose you're given unlimited engineering and financial resources. What kind of electric bike would you create that you'd be truly happy with or as close as possible? What technological advances do you think would be necessary to make electric motorcycles a truly viable or even superior alternative to gas? Okay, this is an interesting question, and I kind of want to ask the chat in a poll here. Basically, what I want to ask is, would you ride, I don't know why I'm doing all caps, would you ride an EV motorcycle if you couldn't ride an ICE? Let's start that poll. Because I want to know if there's a world in which you can't ride an internal combustion motorcycle, would you go for the electric? And I think a lot of people would, but I know that for me, it would really take away the experience. So what I would need from an electric bike to feel, good about it in terms of my internal combustion engine experience, the issue I have with electric bikes right now is that there's not enough of contact points for me to have fun with. There's no clutch, there's no shifter, there's no engine RPM that I can kind of feel through. There's so much lacking there. To the point where I usually have more fun riding a bicycle than I do an electric motorcycle because I at least have gears and at least I have independent brakes as well. So I would say I would need the electric motorcycle to have gears somehow. I would need it to be able to maybe create different sounds or have some sort of auditory experience. I would need faster top speed. A lot of these electric bikes top out at like 111 miles an hour. If it's a fun sport bike or something like that, I'd want it to kind of feel like it has a little bit of legs. And I'd want the range to be a lot. I'd want at least 200 miles of range because when you ride these, and 200 miles of real range, because when you ride these electric bikes, they're just kind of, you get so much range anxiety and it really stinks. And I'd want the charge time to be 20 minutes or something like that, 10 minutes if possible. That would make the experience to me totally cool. If I can shift gears, if I can ride at least 200 miles stress-free, no problem, and if I can charge in 10 minutes, and if it can cost me, 10 grand or whatever, maybe $10,000 to $15,000, then that's pretty good, and then I'd be happy enough with it that it's still two wheels, it's still fun. But for now, that's a whole lot of asks that probably wouldn't happen. So, yeah. I did see we had a question come up on chat. Jamakill Burns, thank you for the $20. I spent 3 years watching your channel, and I finally started riding last year. O2R6. Nice. I appreciate all the videos, funny clips, in-depth discussions you've had about riding, because it got me ready for my adventure. Well, thank you, Jamakill. Jamikul, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm going to say Jamikul. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for the $20, and I hope you're riding safe, having fun. 2002 R6 is a sweet ride, so I do appreciate it. Okay. Eortega06 on Instagram asked me, got any track day tips? I've never been. Expected costs, do's and don'ts, etc. So I've made many entire videos on track day tips. I will give you one really solid tip. The most solid tip I can give you for a track day is that you are there to learn. The first and foremost thing you're doing at a track day is learning. As long as you show up with an open mind, no ego, you're already ahead of at least 50% of the dudes there. I can't begin to tell you how many guys are in novice that ride so slow and think that they're so fast and think that they're so cool because they came from the street. If you go to a track day, just go there to learn. Be open-minded, listen to the instructors because they probably know more than you, and just enjoy the day and make sure your bike stays upright. That would be the best thing you can do. Keep it light, keep it breezy, have fun, try to learn something, and then you'll probably get addicted to it because it is a ton of fun. So that would be my track day tips for you there. All right, Christian Hayes on Instagram asked me, been riding a CBR 250 for about 2 months, 400 or 600 to start next season off. Love that you've been riding for 2 months and you're already like, all right, let me get a 600. Come on. Here's what I would recommend. If you're riding a CBR 250, that is a very entry-level, bare bones, great little motorcycle, but it's not particularly powerful. I think the jump to a 600 is a bit large. I would say go for something like an SV650, MT-07. If you want to stick in the fully fared category, there's tons of the new kind of not so super sport motorcycles. RS660 would be a fantastic choice. R7. I think the R7 would make you very, very happy if you're coming from a CBR 250. It'll feel very fast, very sporty, and you'll have a ton of fun. And then you can think about a 600 or 1000 or anything after that. But I would say it's a bit too big of a jump to go 250 to 600. The 400 is too small of a jump. You're not going to feel that much of a difference. So I think R7, good choice. Will Jordan on Instagram asks, how long into riding should you wait before going to the track? This is a great question. I get this one a lot, and I think that it kind of comes down to your personal abilities and preferences, right? If you feel confident that you can ride your motorcycle competently without dropping it, and you're able to point it in the direction you want to go, and you can take turns, then you should be ready to do your first track day. Again, like I mentioned to the previous question about first-time track days, you're not there to go as fast as possible. So the vast majority of the time at your very first track day, you're going to be in a little single-file line, just following the person in front of you, going not that fast. Later on in the day, they may allow you to start passing on the outside very safely, nice and easy, that sort of thing. So I think that as long as you've been riding like maybe even 6 months, you feel confident enough to be able to do it. I think you should go for it. I think it'd be great. We just got a question on chat. Lucas, thank you for the $20. Asked me, Yams, thoughts on CF Moto 675 SS? It's on the radar for review. Is it on the radar for a review soon? Not only is it on the radar for review, I would love to get one as a giveaway motorcycle and feature it for a longer term bike on the channel. That bike has a ton of hype right now. I've seen videos that people put out that get tons of views. People very excited about that motorcycle because the cost is not very high. And it's a 3-cylinder bike. It's pretty sweet. And I think a lot of people want to know how well it works, if it's mechanically sound and reliable. So I would certainly like to get one if I can, possibly. So that's my answer to that. And thank you for the $20 again. Okay, Moto Duke on Instagram. Is Royal Enfield on the up and up? 100%. 100%. If you look at the sales increases Royal Enfield has had over the last 5 years, it's absolutely bananas. I've talked to many of the executives at Royal Enfield, even the CEO and many other high-ranking people at the company. They're doing phenomenal things, doing very well. The company is certainly on the up and up. It's very, very exciting to see. I think we just had another question come in on chat. Yes, we did. Thank you very much. Alex Cabrera for the $5. Ninja 500 to RS 660 or Street Triple RS. Maybe something else. R9 maybe. I believe the R9 might be a little too big of a jump from a Ninja 500. I think you'd be better served going to an RS 660. And it kind of fits the vibe of the fully fared bike a little bit better. The only thing that might make you a little sad is that it's still a parallel twin, but it's a 270-degree crank, and that RS660 motor is just fantastic. So going from about 50 horsepower to 100 horsepower, that's a nice jump. You're doubling your horsepower. You're going to have a lot of fun. The bike is great, and it's going to be good. Mayur B2812 on Instagram. Why do you hate Kawasaki? And I feel like I get this question once a week at this point now, and I do not hate Kawasaki. Some of my favorite motorcycles are Kawasaki bikes. I love the ZH2. I love the ZX4RR. I really like the ZX6. I love Kawasaki's. So I have certain Kawasaki's that I think are really boring and bad. The Versys 650, super boring, but very competent motorcycle. The Vulcan 650, also not great, but yeah, just that's how I feel about it. Okay, Cody Freeman 56 on Instagram. What is your favorite time of day to ride? Great question. I am super privileged that I do this whole YouTube thing full time, and so I can kind of pick and choose whenever I ride. My favorite time to ride is when there are as few people on the road as possible. So I am often riding around at like Tuesday at like 10:45 a.m. That's like my favorite time because nobody's out. The roads are clear, everything's cool, and I'm able to do my thing in a very nice way. There's also fewer law enforcement at that time because nobody's really out and about. So, yeah, I would say that that would definitely be my favorite time to ride. I'm trying to think anything else. Well, temperature-wise, I also like to do, it depends on the time of year, but earlier in the day is better for me because here in Texas, it's just crazy hot anyways. But as long as it's between 55 to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, that's plenty okay for me to ride in as well. So I hope that answers the question. CC Saga on Discord. As a new rider on a CB500F, I already have had a low side spill on a turn. Oh, sorry to hear it. Should I be more worried about throttle control in a turn or my position in the lane before the turn? For context, I hit the shoulder of the road at 6 miles per hour when the bike slipped off the road and into the ditch. So this is interesting. First of all, I'm sorry to hear you had a crash. That does kind of suck. If it's a low speed spill, sounds like it was pretty okay. Throttle control is the most important thing on a motorcycle, right? Like, it is the fundamental connection between you and your bike, and it dictates so much of how the bike behaves. Obviously, second to that is actually pulling on the front brake and tipping the bike in and trail it in, get the front loaded up, all that good stuff. But banking on the throttle back on it after a turn picking it up is really important. And what I want you to think about now that you've had the spill, what has to happen is if you are leaning the bike, you have to have the muscle memory that the throttle is rolling off, right? If the bike is leaning in, you're not adding gas. You should never do this, right? It should always be this, right? Like dipping this way or dipping this way, your hand has to go down, right? You can't lean and add gas because then you're going to do that and the wheel's going to spin and, all that stuff. So I think practice that muscle memory of the throttle being basically on a string, right? Like you're full gas, you brake, you turn in like this, right? And then you pick it back up. You brake, pick it back up. Just kind of get that in your head. As far as the position of the lane goes, it's not as important, but you certainly should look where you want to go, right? If you're looking and you're trying to avoid those obstacles in the road, shoulder full of gravel or sand, the middle of the road has oil in it, you can carve a nice clean line through the turn. Just look where you want to go, and you'll be A-okay. Obviously, if you're leaving a stoplight, you're going to be on the gas. So what I said about like turning and gassing is a little different in that context. But if you're already moving is what I was talking about. Got a couple questions on chat here. Just going to roll through these. Victor asks, have you ever rode the Honda Moto Compacto? I don't know if that's the new one with the suitcase. I haven't ridden that, but I have ridden the original Moto Campo. That was an awesome bike. I did a whole review on it, so you should go check it out. And thank you for the $199. Mr. Black asked, precautions on getting an MT-07 as a first motorcycle. I really want to keep my first bike for a while. That's why I'm thinking of getting one. Great bike, great beginner plus motorcycle to get. The only precaution I would say is that it is a very torquey motorcycle. That motorcycle can pick up the front wheel in second gear on power alone. So if you are going to get that as your first bike, be very careful with the throttle. Do not whiskey throttle that bike because it will wheelie and it will get away from you. It is a pretty torquey and powerful motorcycle. It has a short wheelbase, which makes it really great. You can clutch up third gear wheelies on that thing. It's a ton of fun. But if you are not prepared for that, it could be a little dangerous. That'd be the only thing I'd recommend to you. And thanks again for the $4.99. And then Lou Strella here, or Stella, excuse me. Thank you for the $5. With details about the Long Way Home series coming out, what classic bike would you choose for a 10K mile trip from Scotland to London the long way? I have not heard about that, but I guess that's Charlie Borman and Ewan McGregor doing a new series. That's pretty sweet. What classic bike would I choose for a 10K mile trip? I think I would probably do... I think I would go kind of different with it. I think I would get a Ducati 916 and do a long trip on it just to show that it can be done. It would be kind of tough on the back a little bit, but it would look so good doing it, and it's like a 30-year-old bike at this point. Could look pretty sweet. So, yeah, that's the one I would pick. And boys, that wraps up the questions. If you have more questions, I will try to address them here on the chat as we're going. But we are now going to move on to the bike roast or boost. But as a quick reminder, if you wanted to ask me more questions or just hang out with me and the whole community on Discord, go ahead and join as a member on YammieNoob.co. It's the best way you can support the show. I would love to see all of you getting involved. For those of you asking questions on here, if you're not a member on the Discord, I'm on there all the time. And then you can ask me questions on there. So, yeah. All right. Bike roast or boost. Oh, producer Logan. I love this. Not only do we have Valentino Rossi in the correct suit from his time at Factory Yamaha, I believe this is a picture of his last podium that he ever got. We are deep in the lore at this point. Now we got the tap out, disgusting Turbo Hayabusa. That's just a regular Busa, I think. Adorned on our video here. Everything's beautiful. Everything is right. I'm loving life here. This is looking so good. You guys can hear me gulp. All right. Let's check out some motorcycles. I Be Crazy 8280 on Discord submitted this motorcycle. This is my 2010 NT 700V. It's my first street bike. I picked it up for $3,000 with 18,500 miles on it. I purchased this with the full intention of it being a beginner bike, so I'm not planning on to do a lot of upgrades to it. I've already put 3,500 miles on it, and I've already begun searching for my next and possibly long-term ride. Let's take a look at this thing. Boys, I gotta be honest. I have never heard of this motorcycle, and yet there's another one right behind it. Honda NT700V. Is this some sort of precursor to the NC 750 or 700, whatever that one is with the frunk or whatever? What are we working with engine-wise here? Is it a parallel twin? If anyone has more info on this bike, drop it down in the chat. I have never heard of the NT700V. I can't even really tell ergonomically what this motorcycle is, because this rider triangle kind of looks like a cruiser to me, right? Like, we have mid-mounted pegs, but like a low seat. It's kind of like a bagger with the hard cases. The handlebar kind of upright here. What a peculiar little machine. 2010, so this is 14 years old. It has not aged particularly well. This is a strange little bike. This guy's saying, baby brother of the CTX 1300, 52-degree V-twin, 680cc. Dude, I've never heard of this bike. This does not happen very often where I see a motorcycle where I'm like, I've never heard of this thing. I don't even know quite what I'm looking at. I take that back. It's actually aged decently well. It's got like integrated turn signals, decent little windshield. It looks like you could do a lot with this bike. It kind of looks like, it's super stealth, right? Like, I don't know the amount of performance offered. It's probably not particularly fast, but I think it's, certainly a unique bird. Never seen this one before. And like I said, $3,000, that's a good steal. Good motorcycle. Yeah. Wow. Snow's got the boring stroke on this thing. All right. So, Reverend Greed on Discord. This is my 09 R6. Boys, let's start simping. In my opinion, the most beautiful object on the planet, especially with the cosmetic upgrades to make it look more modern. Gave it TST LED indicators, Moto Dynamic LED headlights, and eBay special imitation Rizoma Stealth mirrors. It has Two Brothers Racing full exhaust system with the ECU tune, frame sliders, tail tidy, and a gold DID chain for extra bling factor. I love every second on this bike, especially on the twisty mountain roads. Fortunately, the riding position gives me no issues since I'm pretty scrawny, and being curled in the fetal position with a giant grin on my intrusive thoughts running through my head is my natural resting state. Love the vibe that this gentleman has. This looks super similar to the R6 we did as a giveaway bike in 23. We bought it in 23, gave it away in 23. Still a great looking shape, It's crazy how well that the 08 to 2016 R6 aged. It still looks beautiful. This gentleman has the proper tires on this thing. Look at that, sport touring. He's doing lots of mileage on it, enjoying it, doing a lot with it. Looks like some beautiful roads that you have to ride there. I am jealous. And yeah, what's not to like with the R6, man? It's just a fantastic bike. And if you're young enough, and like you said, scrawny enough, your words, not mine, to ride it and be, stealthy on it and be curled up in a ball, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's aged beautifully. This one's in good nick. I have nothing bad to say about it, honestly. You're missing a Yammie Noob reservoir, but those are limited edition items. You can't get one. All right. Whitey1345 on Discord said, the first bike I purchased is a 2023 Yamaha R7. Oh, okay, so now we got to put you and the R6 guy in a room and have you guys fight to the death, because R7 people and R6 people, there's issues, there's problems. M4 full carbon exhaust, JL Designs tail light with fender eliminator, quad lock, wireless charger. We don't talk about quad lock here. We're rock form people. I just want to put that out there. Evotech performance lever guards, Moto Composites, carbon face fairing, Tech Spec tank grips, Womit Tech oil fill cap, TSG Industries Halo flush mount signals, many, many mods, and then WRS windshield for track use. Okay, cool. So lots of tiny little updates here and there. Let's take a look at the bike. Yeah, okay. Looks pretty nice. This was the R7. I don't remember what year this was that they did the black with the blue. We had the blue one for the giveaway in 2021. Nice to see gentlemen doing some track days here. Nice work on the track bike, having some fun. Nice carbon fiber front end on this thing. That looks pretty good. Yeah, look at that. Some bling factor on that thing, huh? Some proper bling factor on the R7 over here. We got to get a little more lean angle going. We reviewed one of the guys on the track the other day. He was looking proper on the bike. We got to get a little more elbow, a little more lean going, a little faster. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it looks like meeting up with some other sport bike boys, having some fun. Looks like a good time. Yeah, all right. Really clean spec, you know? You got it minty, you got it fresh, you're doing the right things with it. I'm liking what I'm seeing, you know? It's hard for me to roast anything on it, except for the fact that you probably put as many mods on this thing that probably cost the same amount of money as the bike, and then I guarantee you when you sell it, you're going to put it on Craigslist, and you're going to say, no lowballs, I know what I got, $10,000, R7. But cool, I like it. I like it a lot. All right, Sean, second on Discord. Producer Logan had to edit it for length. Said that I'm a returning rider. Did my MSF in Las Vegas back in 2008. Fast forward to 2024. Some of you may not have been born in 2008, which kind of blows my mind, but some of you may be out there like that. I live in Germany. I can translate my endorsement to the EU full riding motorcycle class, but I still have to pass practical and theoretical tests here. I figure, hell, while I wait, why not snag this sweet 2004 50cc Vespa E2? Let's take a look. Look at this guy. Oh my God. Boys, I don't know why. I just am like foaming at the mouth for a Vespa. Look at the beautiful photos. Look at the composition here. You guys see this right here? You see this? That's art. I'm teaching you something about the guiding lines, right? Our subject matter here, our contrasting line here, drawing us to the Vespa over here, right? Look at that. Black and white, a little bit of grain from the ISO, but maybe taken on film. It's a Vespa dude, you never know. But somebody explain to me why I want a Vespa so bad. I don't understand why I am so interested in the Vespa. Something about it is calling to me. Something about it sounds super fun and different and silly. Man, I think I have to get one. I don't know what kind of content I could make with it, but I feel like 2025 is going to be the year of like mini moto shenanigans or scooter shenanigans on Yammie Noob. It kind of has to be, right? I got to think of something. But your Vespa looks great, my friend. 50cc, two-stroke, probably. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Mafok 09. That sounds like a slur. On Discord. This is my 2020 MT-03. I bought it as my first bike in June. I've put 3,000 miles on it so far. Handles everything I need to from 5+ hour rides. God bless you doing that amount of time on an MT-03. Does highway speeds with my girlfriend and I on it. You guys probably combined must only weigh about 200 pounds because I owned an MT-03 and that doesn't sound likely. Handles well enough for some twisty roads. Couldn't be happier with the bike I've learned to ride on. I'm now selling it in hopes to buy a Ninja 650, MT-07, or maybe even a Tuono 660 if the budget allows. It is bittersweet as I'm excited to advance in my riding career, but I absolutely love this bike to death. For the love of God, let's check out the bike really quick. For the love of God, please do not buy a Ninja 650 from an MT-03. Don't do it. Don't do it. Come on. Don't do it. Just get something you really want, you know? A Tuono 660 would be freaking sweet. You would love life. Ergonomically is going to feel very similar to the MT-03. It's a little bit bigger, more substantial, more serious, and just a little more advanced electronically. This looks exactly like the spec we did in 2020 as a giveaway bike. And saying that makes me realize I've been at this for a long time. Yeah, this was just like the bike. We did a ridiculous sprocket swap on ours, and we made it practically unrideable, but it did have a little more pep in its step. Let me tell you that right now. We also did an exhaust mod on it too, but MT-03 is a cool bike. I just wish that Yamaha would update this platform from a 321cc parallel twin to keep up with the new 450 cc category, you know? I just think that it's like ridiculous that Yamaha is still out here pulling a Suzuki, making 321cc beginner bikes, when we've got, 450cc CF motos and that sort of thing. So yeah, good looking bike. I would say get the 210 660. You're really going to enjoy it. Also, I think your friend has underglow lights and a Kawasaki. Stop hanging out with that individual immediately. Immediately disregard this individual from your life. Get them out of here. Okay. OG Zimk on Discord. Howdy, Mr. Noob. Howdy. This is my 2024 ZX6R that I just picked up from the dealer about a month ago. It is my first Supersport street bike, and it's been a blast. Sold my SV650 before I bought this, and I'm kind of sad I did because it was such a good bike, but it is a step up nonetheless. The only thing I've done to it so far is an Aero titanium slip-on. Can't wait to put more miles and more mods on this thing, and in the near future, any mod suggestions for daily riding? Okay, this guy submitted a bike and some questions, and I am actually really into the new generation ZX6, and I totally get that you're sad that the SV650 is no longer in your life, because honestly, SVs are kind of lovable, you know? They kind of remind me of my Scrambler or other bikes that you're just like, like anybody could enjoy it, anybody could ride and have fun with it, and just really love life. But the new generation ZX6s are pretty sweet, man. I actually really like the look of them. I think they look aggressive. I mean, it looks great, right? And it's cool that it's still the proper super sport 600 category bike. Like, it's the real deal, And I kind of want to get another one to do as a giveaway next year, just because I feel like people would really have fun seeing me back on a 600. That'd be really sweet. And it's the type of bike that, if you're doing daily stuff with it, I think the first thing I would do is a tank bag, right? Just pop a little tank bag on there. You get a little bit more storage, get some weight off your back if you wanted to. You'd really enjoy that. And beyond that, I wouldn't really do anything else for daily riding on the ZX6, that's for sure. All right. Asmodeus on Discord said, just bought this yesterday from a guy who got it on trade. 1983 Goldwing GL 1100 with 59,926 miles on it. Runs smooth and is comfortable to run around East Tennessee on, hoping to log plenty of miles on. Oh, man. Look at this. Oh, my God, dude. The longer I stay on this earth, the better a Goldwing looks to me. Look at this thing. So in 83, check this out. In 83, this was before the Goldwing was a Boxer 6. So it was a flat 4. You can see it's got the 2 intake plenums right there, and the 2 on this side. It was a flat 4, liquid cooled. Such a beautiful example of an old Goldwing, man. Wow. And East Tennessee is the perfect place to own such a motorcycle. So many beautiful spots you can go and ride with. And look at that. He's already pulling hose with this GL 1100 right here, boys. I tell you what, you can have your sport bikes. You can have whatever you want. I'm telling you, look at Shade Tree Surgeon. He's got Goldwings. He's got girls all around. I'm telling you, just get a Goldwing. The girls flock to you, man. They don't like sport bikes. They like stuff like this. Classics. They like little Vespas. They like Miatas. I'm telling you, you guys don't listen to me. You guys don't listen to me. Keep getting sport bikes. You don't know why you're hanging out with only dudes. It's obvious, man. It's obvious. So this is a pristine example. This one is beautiful, and I'm a big fan. And honestly, it's aged really well. This thing looks great. I didn't realize these old Goldwings look so great. It kind of looks like the newer CB 1100s that they did, but just has a flat 4 on it. Dude, what a rad bike. What a rad bike. And you could log miles after miles. Look at the quilted leather over here. Just awesome, Why is this guy saying Quangus on the stream here? Bro, go away. Annoying. Okay. KCD on Discord. 2004 955i, 2,000 bucks, modern day classic, 120 horsepower, 75 foot-pounds of torque, rare original CF exhaust from Hinckley. I have a lifelong love affair with this model in all of its phases. New Dunlops for the record. Yeah, these are badass. As a quick side note, I love the font and specifically the kerneling of that font on the Speed Triple logo on this particular model. I know that's such a nitpicky thing to point out, but we do a lot of like graphic work here on Yammie Noob, and I just think that this is one of the most perfect logo placements and kerneling and font choices for a bike. It just screams 90s to me. It's just perfect. I've always loved this specific logo on the bike. That sounds crazy, but I've always enjoyed it. And if we have a better look at that, I just think it looks awesome. It looks perfect. We didn't get too many photos of this thing, which is a damn shame. I'm seeing this. Yeah, this carbon fiber original exhaust looks awesome. The 3-spoke wheels on these were so sick. Love this old school taco here. Man, this looks great. But this too, the old school Triumph logo, the silver on black, that also looks awesome. These are just like badass Street Fighter bikes, man. These are just badass bikes. And they had a ton of torque. These are great, and I really think that they're going to become a modern classic in a very short amount of time. Very, very cool bike. Still has great modern bones, but some of that old school classic performance. Really, really sweet bike, man. Really, really great. Yeah, hold on to that thing. You got a gem for sure. Okay, DD2319 on Discord. Hey, this is my 2023 CF Moto 450SS track build that I'm submitting. So I did see this one on Discord, and this is really interesting. It says that he's been running this bike all season and recently got my intermediate bump on it. It has all the goodies: Brembo RCS 15, Vortex +1 sprocket and DID chain, steel braided lines, Vitubo cartridges and rear shock. That's interesting. Ultralight rear brake disc, full Van Diemen exhaust, a DNA air filter, and a tune, just to name a few. Currently weighs in at 351 pounds wet, but I think I can trim a couple more pounds off the bike and myself. She has 8 track days under her belt now, and I couldn't be more pleased with it. So I hope you like it, and your dislike of Chinese bikes doesn't overshadow this beauty. Thanks. So I have been waiting. I have been waiting to see somebody turn a CF Moto 450SS into a proper track or race bike. Pretty cool that this guy already has his novice plates on there with his number. I think I asked him on Discord what series he was competing in, and I think he said Moto Gladiators, and I had not heard of that one particularly, and I didn't know what club that was. But when these came out, I was interested of like, is anyone going to run these in CMRA? Are they going to do anything with these bikes? And it kind of looks like a little weapon, dude. Like, it really does look proper. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like this is the best looking CF Moto track or race bike build I've ever seen. Love the British green racing paint on it. The tank grips look great. I bet you this thing rips. And this guy's looking like he's ripping on it, man. That looks good, looking proper. 4SR suit, those are great too. Yeah, looks really, really good. I didn't realize that these. I'm so curious about these as a race platform, because I did race Ninja 400s and CMRA's endurance series. So this is super interesting to me. Super, super interesting. I like this is a clean setup with the solo for the lap timer right there. I think this is stock cluster over here. This is all stock. This is different. Quick turn, throttle, brake lever guard because you need that to race with. The Bitubo cartridges, I wonder how those feel if you get a little more stiffness out of it. I'd be so curious to ride this bike. So curious to ride it and see what it can do on track. God, I'm itching to go to the track now. It looks really good. I love the paint on it. It looks really, really nice. Okay, Joshi22 on Discord said, this is my 2024 XSR 900 producer Logan. Why do I have to look at an XSR 900 on every one of these, man? Jesus Christ. Love this bike. Upgraded from a 2003 SV650 this year, and it was a great move. Also featured in the picture is my girlfriend's 2024 Ninja 650. Folks, this guy's winning. He's got a girlfriend on a Ninja 650, and he's got an XSR 900. Pretty good life he's got for himself there. What can I say about this bike that I haven't already said? Great looking motorcycle, great package, performs really well, works really great, looks really good. I think the only thing about these bikes is that the people that own them, for some reason, are flex offenders on Instagram. And I think it really lends credence to the idea that they are extremely popular because we see so many of them on Discord. It's ridiculous. Also, is your girlfriend stunting, bro? She got a stunt cage on the Z over here? That is your girlfriend's bike. That's what you said, right? Your girlfriend out here stunting. And yet, I don't see any wheelie pictures on this XSR, my friend. I don't see it. I don't see any wheelie photos. But I do see you not wearing a jacket. And is that a Roo-Rock helmet? Oh, my God. No jacket, Roo-Rock helmet. You're losing points with me. You're losing points. Alrighty, folks. Let's go ahead and do the motorcycle trivia. I love this one. This is genuinely one of my favorite things that I do. Get to answer some questions. Try to use my mental prowess. And if you guys want to play along, you go ahead. Let's get started. All right. What rider was the first to win in MotoGP with 3 different manufacturers? Well, I know this answer. And not only do I know this answer, I know which 3 manufacturers he did it on because it was a big goal of his when he moved to this particular team in 2022, I think is when that happened. I'll tell you right now, it's Maverick Viñales. Boom! Maverick Viñales. He won on a factory Suzuki, a factory Yamaha, and then a factory Aprilia. One of the most up-and-down riders who definitely did not deserve 3 different factory seats. Showed a crazy amount of promise in 2017, never lived up to it, and now regularly engages reverse gear in every single race that he starts. So yeah, got that question. Want to know. This guy says, so this is my mechanic since I bought a KTM. In what year did KTM adopt their signature orange color? Chat, I think it was 1993? That sounds like the correct answer. I'm going to say 1993. Oh, so close. 1996. And this isn't really quite the KTM orange, is it? This is a little lighter, but it was 96, so who the hell knows? Also, dirt bikes have been basically the same since like 1997, right? Like, I mean, look at that. It's like basically the same thing. All right. This is a random question. According to Cycle World Testing, what is the 0 to 60 time for a Yamaha R3? Wow, that's super specific. I'm going to guess that the 0 to 60 time for an R3 is 6.7 seconds? 5.22 seconds. And then producer Logan included a photo that we had for, I think, something about an R3 that I said obsolete. That's definitely one of our thumbnails. Okay, the question. For what years did Harley-Davidson own MV Agusta? And bonus question, how much did HD ultimately sell the company for? I think, what years did they own MV? It was in the financial crash, if I remember correctly. I think it was like 2007 to 2009. They owned it very briefly, and I want to say they sold it. I can barely remember what they sold it for. It has to be less than $1 billion, but I think more than $100 million. But it could have been back in 2008. Okay, I'm gonna guess that they owned it for 2007 to 2009, and they sold it for $220 million. Oh, interesting. Harley-Davidson purchased MV Agusta in July 2008 for $109 million. I was kind of close. And they sold the company back to the Castiglione family in August 2010. Guys, I was really damn close, right? I said it was 2 years, late 2000s. I feel like I want to give myself half a point for that. And the answer is €1, which to me sounds like some money laundering stuff. What are you talking about? You sold the company for €1, but they bought it for 109 million. I don't know. That sounds like a weird rich person tax thing that I can't understand. So we're just gonna move on. But I was damn close. I was damn close. Come on. All right, in what country is the Isle of Man TT held? And the bonus question, how long is the TT mountain course? Well, the country that the Isle of Man TT is held in, is it not the Isle of Man? Isn't it its own country? Or is that part of Ireland or something like that? Oh boy, I'm gonna look like an idiot. I'm gonna look like an idiot. I'm going to look like that typical American that doesn't understand geography. So I know that you got the big island that has England and Scotland on it, and then you have Ireland. And then isn't the Isle of Man in the middle between the two? And I thought it's its own country, right? And I know the mountain course is like 38 miles or something like that. Okay, let's just kill the embarrassment here. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I was second guessing myself. It is, yeah, I was super close on both. Okay, I know what I'm talking about, all right? It is the Isle of Man. It's its own island, and it is its own country. I was correct. And then, yeah, 38 miles, 37.7. Come on. Come on, boys. Come on. Okay, question. Who invented the twin spar motorcycle frame? And then, bonus question, how much did the first one weigh? Look at this photo here. What is going on? This was a crazy two-stroke race bike, right? Because I'm seeing the big-ass expander pipes. This must have been a Grand Prix bike back in the day. Who invented the twin spar motorcycle frame? So I know that Suzuki had it on the GSX-R 750. That was the first one in like 1980-something. And how much did the first one weigh? The frame or the motorcycle? So the question isn't clear. I'm going to say that the motorcycle overall weighed probably 450 pounds. Okay, so Suzuki invented it, I think in the mid-80s, and it was like 400-something pounds. God damn it, I got it totally wrong. Okay, Spanish engineer Antonio Cobas is credited with pioneering the modern aluminum perimeter twin spar frame. Interesting, I didn't know that. When first used in the 1982 Cobas 250cc GP race bike, the frame weighed less than 8 pounds. Wow. Can you imagine a two-stroke 250cc race bike with an 8-pound aluminum frame? Probably felt incredible. Oh my God, that's really cool. All right, boys, that wraps up trivia, and now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the stream, the mystery box. The mystery box is not near my vicinity. Give me one moment, boys. All right, here we have it, mystery box. It does feel like a small box right now, so let's see if we can get this open. Oh, we have a box here. We need probably a blade, which I don't have nearby. I'm just going to He-Man strength it, see if I can open it with my sweet fingers here. What the hell is this? Nice. Okay. 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 So, wow. We have a complete, oh my God. Producer Logan, you've outdone yourself. We have a complete sort of Harley-Davidson Halloween costume kit that I do owe it to everybody in the audience to start donning. So we have aviator glasses, which I'll leave for last because if I take off my actual glasses, I can't see because I'm that blind. We also have fingerless gloves with studs. It says punk gloves with studs. Which looks like they are, oh my God, they're like gritty. Why are they gritty? What is on these things? What are they made out of? Oh my God. Do I want to wear these? Let's see here. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Okay. Fingerless. Really, really great to use the fingerless gloves. Oh my God. Look at that. Okay, we got that. This, I think, is some sort of wristband. Yeah, this is like a wristband. Okay, let's get this put on. Wow, dude, this is gonna be so cool. He said, without a shred of irony. Yo, people wear this unironically. What even is this? Why would you do that? Oh, no way. Yes, look at this. This is a chain. It's got a little motorcycle chain on it. It's a chain for a chain. Oh, you got like several chains. Look at that. I don't even know. Okay, it's gonna. Look at that. Ooh, boys. Ooh, boys. Tattoo sleeve? Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on. If only I had spiky things that could open things. Oh, yeah. I should have put these on first, but we'll make do. Oh, yeah, guys. Wow. Man, I feel so sick. Oh, dude, so badass. We're only going to do one. We can only do one. We have another. I don't even know where this would go. I think this is another bracelet of some sort. And then a do-rag, maybe? Oh, hell yeah. I'm just gonna plop that right over because I gotta stay on brand here. And then the pièce de résistance. And that's how you do it, brother. Y'all have a good night out there. Y'all enjoy yourselves and stay brotherly and enjoy Harley Davidsons. Keep riding them, keep enjoying them, keep doing your thing on them Harleys. I don't want to catch y'all on no mid-2000s piss missile. I want to see y'all on no Honda. Y'all keep riding them Harleys. Hog life. Keep Deborah on the back. Keep the clippings on the road. Keep the two wheels down. Rubber side. I had to lay her down the other day, but keep the two wheels down. And y'all have a good night. All right? Y'all take it easy, okay? Y'all be good.